The man opened the fridge and greedily soaked in the cold air. He scraped off the frost and stuffed it into his mouth like crazy, but even that couldn't ease his thirst. He hadn't had a sip of water in 3 whole days. The frost in the fridge was his last source of water. He used to be a legendary escape artist, but this time he messed up and got trapped in this mansion like a prison. He accidentally triggered the alarm system, which cranked the AC temperature up to the max. Now he was on the verge of heatstroke. He searched everywhere for water, but to his disappointment, the only pipe in the house had been locked shut. Luckily, there was a swimming pool in the living room. He took a sip and it tasted like straight-up urine. Desperate for water, he turned his eyes to the irrigation system. Sure enough, it was bone dry, but thirst was unbearable, so he pinned all his hopes on the water in the fish tank. He tasted it and found out it was all salt water. Just when he thought he might die of thirst in this place, he walked to the toilet and stared at the unflushed urine. He hesitated, but in the end he couldn't bring himself to drink it. With no water in sight, he decided to feed himself first. He grabbed a fancy sculpture and pried open the kitchen storage, but all he found was a raw steak. Just then, he heard the sound of spraying water. He ran toward it and saw the irrigation system had finally turned on. He dropped to the ground and started sucking the water greedily, even laid flat on the dirt to let the water soak him completely. After a while, he brought out every container he could find, trying to collect the water and carefully pour it into bottles. Then he put them in the fridge to keep them fresh. The water crisis was finally over, but now he had a bigger problem: how to escape from this mansion. He accidentally saw the chandelier on the ceiling, and suddenly realized behind it was the central duct. Maybe that was his way out, but the ceiling was way too high. There was no way to reach it without a ladder, so he started looking for table chairs and anything usable. He dragged them all into the living room and tied them together. Once he made sure it was stable enough, he began to climb, but even then, he still couldn't reach the chandelier. That didn't shake his determination to escape. He brought in the bed frame from the bedroom, stacked it on top and made the tower higher. This time he finally reached it and grabbed the chandelier, but once up there, he realized the chandelier frame was solid as a rock. There was no way to break through it. His hope of escaping was crushed once again. Just when he was about to give up, a janitor showed up outside the room. Seeing a chance to escape, he started banging on the door like crazy, hoping to catch the janitor's attention.